Caught me by surprise, man. Was you on your toes?
Yeah, I was. I was ready.
You was ready, okay. I was sleeping. Well, see, I was all fired up, man, over this thing, and you and Mike both calmed me down out in the foyer there as far as this call from NASCAR, so we won't even drill it there no more, okay? Until I get Mike up here. Now we got a very special guest here tonight with us, Mike Schmitt from Martinsville Speedway. We're going to bring him on here in just a few minutes. First of all, we're going to talk with Mike again, as we always do, about had practice Friday night.
Yeah, we did. Before we get started, though, I want to thank BTW 21 for this cool new set we got here this week. It's got a little bit, you can't see our whole fat bodies no more, at least my fat body. But
moving up in the world
that's
here,
right. But yeah, this is pretty cool.
Fun here, man.
Yeah, it's neat. But yeah, we did practice Friday. I think we had a real good show. Good bunch of cars out there. Track was in excellent shape. My compliments to the track crew. If we can do that every week, we got something going.
It was a great turnout. I mean, well, I was surprised. Looked out through there in the parking lot, was slam full. I mean, because it was free to get in for the people to watch, and it was just amazing. Yeah,
we couldn't have been more pleased. You know, didn't really tear up any cars. I think we had one motor grenaded late in the session, but all in all, I think, as you'll see when they run some of the video, that the cars looked really sharp, track looked good, and we're real excited to get the season going. And coincidentally, that's this Friday night, our opening event. And it's always an exciting event for us, you know, being that Martinsville Speedway also has their big event this weekend, and it's a chance for us to get some out-of-towners up there to see a little track running.
Oh, yeah. And last time I know when we ran, we had a lot of email and compliments for people that was up north that came down and watched it, and they really like those old-timers sitting there.
Yeah, we had the old-timers in the previous event. They'll be back in the fall race with in conjunction with the Speedway. This Friday night we have our regular show. We are paying the late models a little bit extra purse this week. But it'll be all 6 of our regular racing divisions and normal race times, which is the racing starts about 7:30.
I'm going to get Roger to roll a little bit of that footage there. Also, talking about the old-timers, had a Corvair up there, man. That thing was wild.
Yeah. It looked kind of like a super stock, but it was actually a Corvair-bodied old-timer. I think there might be a little footage of it here. This is some footage from Friday night. And our old Dan the Man, our pack car operator, and getting to see just how neat that track turned out.
How many cars did you finally get a count on that started up?
Somewhere between 60 and 65 cars. You know, we don't keep that formal of a tab, and cars were coming in even as late as like 8:30, 9 o'clock. We still had cars rolling in. So it was, like I said, a good night. This is the Daniels Autoglass Superstock class. Sammy Cook's new car for this year was just a real neat-looking car.
Great looking car.
And these shots are compliments of Grey Ghost Productions. There's Eldred Lackey. He was best in show in the car show last week. Junior Evans, another competitor with a real slick-looking car. Again, the Superstock division just looks great. This is Denny Brance's car. But they've gone all out, and you can see these cars pretty much now are very similar to asphalt late model stock type cars. This is Brian Collins, who's a candidate for Rookie of the Year. This is old John Wayne Plasters in the 60 car. He's been running with us a couple of years. This is a rookie, I believe it's Timmy Hilton, driving a car that's owned by John Wayne.
Right.
And here they are.
That's an old lowboy Foley car.
That's my understanding, although Lowboy wouldn't admit to him when I cornered him on Friday. But again, one of the things that you note here, all these camera shots by Grey Ghost are from the infield this week, and it's really a neat perspective to watch the cars. You know, if you ever get a chance to go down to the pits one time, just check it out. It's really exciting, I think. I love standing down there.
Oh, yeah.
And you really get a great perspective, and the cars really do fly by.
Of course, this was kind of early in the night, and the track was a little slippery, and so it takes them a while to get hold to it. As you see, they're getting it up a little bit more now.
Yeah. As the night goes on, the track gets better. The Superstock class, you know, they're pretty much they help us pack the track every week. They're a combination of heavy cars with big tires, and so they're good to help pack. And so they always start out on a wet track every week, and then they usually get to run their feature early in the night on a good track as well.
And plus, they got a pretty good sized tire also.
Yeah, they got a good tire, and it's a pretty soft tire.
And that was the super stock, just a few of the super stocks. Now, that's what I found. The reason I know it's going to be pretty good because we had so many cars that we know that's coming that didn't show up for practice.
Well, yeah, and that's true every year. You know, you get about half the cars that you expect to see get out there for practice for various reasons. I mean, I know when I was running, I didn't really like to use up my car all that much, right. And it's the worst thing that can happen to you is to go out there on a practice day and blow a motor or tear up a car. So if things are going pretty good, a lot of times running the lap or two to make sure everything works and get it off the track. This is our mini sprint division, and these guys are really getting around well. There's 8 Ball Terry Hall, who was our guest a couple weeks ago, and Terry was searching all over the track trying different grooves out.
Yeah, I don't know if he was just looking for that hookup or whatever, but he definitely didn't run the same line.
Well, that's a smart thing to do. Really, the practice is your time to try out different things, try out different lines. One of the things about dirt track racing, which is so different than short track paved racing, is that the groove changes, and Oak Level really is a multiple groove track because of the fact that the corners are different banking, different radius, and there is that kink in the middle of the back straightaway. There really isn't one fast way around, and it's hard to set up for both corners well. You have to compromise on one or the other. So I think it's a great, knowing coming from asphalt and switching to dirt, one of the biggest problems they had was getting out of that habit of just running the same line lap after lap. And it took me almost a year to figure out that I could try different lines and the track would change during the night. So a practice night's a great chance to try all that stuff out with nothing on the line.
Well, I was really surprised was I was probably looking for, especially all the rookies we had there, I was looking for a whole lot of spin outs and stuff, and it didn't really occur.
No, I mean, there's a couple things. One, again, the track being so well prepared. Secondly, the rookies, sometimes you get someone out there who will say, well, I know how to drive a race car. I'm going to go out there and show everybody, and first straightaway they'll go spin the car out. There's a pretty famous driver I know that did that in his first lap. Right. If I remember a story someone told me. But no, the guys really respected the track and spent the time to learn how to drive it, and we really didn't have many incidents. Right. Which is great, and having a good tacky track that's smooth makes a big difference too. Right.
Well, you knew that everything was good, like you said earlier later in the night, that you knew the track was still in good shape because these guys right here were still coming out late in the run.
Yeah, we run I think 5 sessions, and we had a significant number of cars still running in the 4th session. And usually the sprints, when the track starts a little bit rough, they're real susceptible to any kind of bumps in the track, any kind of grooves, and they can turn themselves over pretty easily if the track's rough at all. So they like a real smooth track. This here is the Autotech Automotive Mini Stock Division. Again, a lot of neat cars come out, and like we were mentioning earlier tonight, there's 9 rookie candidates in this class alone that are going for the Southeastern Outdoor Supply Rookie of the Year award. And guys all did a real good job keeping the cars between the walls, and that made us real happy.
And these guys, like you said, it's just amazing that how far this dirt track thing has come, because I used to see them show up with cars they pulled out of the junkyard and put a roll cage in. These cars are slick, man.
Yeah, it's good for all of us. It's good for the fans, I think, to see some sharp-looking cars. It's good for the sponsors that they have good-looking cars to put their names on, and certainly good for us to be able to show you pictures like this of a bunch of really cool cars.
And this is a 4-cylinder division right here, and it's very competitive, and like I said, this is going to be an interesting series this year.
Yeah, it will be. I'm not sure it was so competitive last year. Right. Randy Philpott pretty much dominated the series. It has been competitive in the past, and we tweaked the rules a little bit this year, hopefully to get them a little bit closer together. But it will be interesting to watch which rookies are gonna move to the front.
Oh yeah, they're gonna get some lessons. No doubt.
And pretty much all these rookies are guys that are brand new to racing. These aren't guys who moved from different divisions. A lot of the rookies in the super stock class moved from the pure stock.
Right.
These are all new guys. This is the Clarence Steakhouse Late Model Division. There's Jimmy Jarrett, who has been top 5 in points the last few years. Again, some really sharp cars. This is Sammy Barber's car, a brand new car. He was getting around the track real good. There's Ray Shelton, and there it looks like Mark Crowe. And Mark was our guest last Monday night, and in typical Mark Crowe style, he's got that thing sideways with the left front up in the air. There's Jimmy Mullins actually driving the Palmer number 7 car until he hit Jimmy, until he hit Mark Crowe. Yeah, unfortunately, Mark was sideways in the corner, and I don't know if you noticed that nose on that car is up a little higher than normal. And we talked to Jimmy today, and he was having trouble seeing out the front of the car, and didn't get enough time to react to miss Mark.
And plus, they got these things cocked up going down the back straight anyway. I mean, they just gotta have faith that when it sets, and you can about tell by the video when the car set down is when he saw it. And
they just locked it up and know where to go. But yeah, the back straightaway for the late model is pretty much a continuous arc. You really never get them straightened out, and you never really unload the cars.
And the guys that are hooked up, you'll see them come out of turn 2, and they will carry that front wheel all the way down the back straight, as Mark is doing right now.
Yeah, that's a good example of, and I think that again contributes to some real exciting racing. One of the cool seats to check out at the track, if you get a chance, to sit up there in turn 4 and watch the cars come down the back straightaway. And again, you can see that it's very difficult to pick out what's the fast line around there. And we've had cars pass on the outside 3 wide around through 3 and 4. So there's, especially when the track's good like that, there's a lot of places you can run.
That's great. Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to take we're going to ask a trivia question. You're supposed to get on me about that.
Oh, you want to ask one right now before we go to break?
I'm going to let you ask.
All right, so we're going to ask who was well, that's a different question. How many races were there in NASCAR's very first strictly stock season, which is the precursor to the Winston Cup cars? Back in 1949, how many races were there in the points series?
How many different points races?
Right, in 1949, which was the first year for at that time, the NASCAR strictly stock.
You're even asking the questions I don't even know the answer to. And I think I know some of this stuff. I answered one of yours out there, but I don't even know the answer to that. I know that they used to run quite a few. That's back when Richard Petty got all his wins. They was running 60 events a year.
Yeah, well, this was before that time. And this is the first year they run. But I think we stumped everybody.
I think don't nobody want to call and answer that question. You might better get a more modern question.
Well, I think that question's going to stay out there until someone gets it.
We won't let them think about it.
Yeah, let's better than us sitting here just
looking goofy. Now, show him red here. I'm going to have to get my makeup artist in here working on it. See what's going on. We'll see how Mike Smith looks when he gets up here anyway. All right, folks, I'll tell you what. Y'all be thinking about that. We're going to take a small break, and we'll be right back. Don't go away.
Visit Southeastern Outdoors.
Welcome back, everyone. And they're sitting there and they want the telephone number. We're even wanting the telephone number, 647-9289. So you can call anytime, and especially with this next guest. I feel honored to have him here at our new set. Been knowing this guy for quite a while, and is now the public relations director. Martinsville Speedway.
You got it.
Mr. Mike Smith. How you doing, Mike?
Great to be here.
And I know you're busy, and I really appreciate you taking out time to come down here to talk with us.
Well, that's about done for the day anyway.
Yeah. I knew we had to have something there because there's a whole lot of things going on. So let's see. So they found the phone number there, and they did what? Okay. They wanted to holler at Mike. Okay. But no, we do appreciate you coming down here, and you're getting ready. You got a busy week this week, no doubt. What was your typical Monday today?
Let's see, I was away from the phone for about a half an hour early this morning, had 15 messages when I got back, and that pretty much set the tone for the day.
Right, I understand. All right, let's see here. You're on Just Racing?
Anybody answered the trivia yet?
Nobody's answered the trivia question.
Nobody has?
No.
All right, is it 7?
No, it's not 7.
All right, appreciate it.
Thank you, brother. All right, let's see here. All right, Just Racing.
Is it 10?
Nope.
Nope.
They're bouncing all around it. Okay. Well, that was, that's definitely, we got off my track here. I knew that they would come in with this trivia question right now.
We'll tell people the phone
Well,
number.
yeah, we'll tell the people the phone number. We're still learning this stuff. I think it's new steps on Throw the Curve, hadn't it? So I was still fired up, man, and y'all calm down. Y'all on the same team. Did y'all talk before I got here?
No, we didn't talk.
This deal with Dale Jr. and both of Mike and Mike says, oh, they called it right. Yeah. Just Racing.
Is it high or low?
Hank can tell you who's this.
Joey.
Hey, Joey.
Is it high or low?
It's lower than your car number, Joey.
I say 6.
Nope.
Oh,
All right.
all right. But no, I want to talk like to this Martinsville thing. You know, it is amazing when you sit there, and I know there's a lot of people that probably don't follow racing here in Martinsville. There's no way they'd keep up with it because it's on Speed Vision and all this stuff. But how many times I hear the word Martinsville in comparison throughout a year? It's just unbelievable.
It's amazing if you watched the race yesterday, how many times you heard Martinsville mentioned. Pretty much every 15-minute segment they were talking about this week's race. And yeah, that's good for us. It's good for the community. It's good for everybody.
Yeah, it's just amazing. Let's grab these phones. Hopefully we got a winner here. Just Racing.
Is it 0?
No, it wasn't zero. Good guess, sir. Thank you, brother. All right, we're going to probably pick up the trivia here in just a little bit. We're going to talk to Mike here. But, yeah, I mean, it's even amazing that even when they're nowhere, they're coming to Martinsville this week, so they might have had a little reason. But, I mean, I've heard this stuff, you know, even down in Daytona, or we're going to hear it after they leave Martinsville, too. It's just amazing. I mean, how many other tracks do you know that they use a comparison to? I mean, it's amazing.
It's you know, we feel like we really put the community, you know, out nationally and internationally. We have a story where one of our 500 committee members was in Korea a couple of weeks after the race and went into his hotel, and people found out it was from Martinsville, and that's the first thing they wanted to talk about was Martinsville Speedway.
It is crazy. I mean, I can be anywhere and outside of this area and say something from Martinsville, and they say, "Oh, where the racetrack is." You know, it's really amazing. We'll take this call. Just Racing?
Yes. Is it 15?
No, it's not.
Trivia?
Tell you what, we're going to hold off on the trivia question until later in the show here, so we can spend a little time talking to Mike.
Yeah, we're gonna-
If you got a question for Mike, please call in, but we're going to hold off on the trivia until a little bit later in the segment.
Right. And speaking of how good it is for the community and stuff, Lord knows this community needs it with the unemployment rate and everything. But how much revenue does this bring into Martinsville and Henry County?
We haven't had a study done in some time. Probably 5 or 6 years ago was the last one. And just for the immediate area, Martinsville and Henry County, it is a little over $30 million a race. And we would really like to know what that figure is for the area it affects, because we know that on a race weekend, Roanoke to the north, Greensboro to the south, Lynchburg to the east, and almost to Blacksburg to the west, all motel rooms are full. You know, people buying gas, people buying soft drinks, people even buying beer. So they're spending money, and they're leaving a lot of money in this area. So we know it has a tremendous impact.
That's amazing, and we need it, and thank goodness. You know, it's been the talk when they got the new plan going here now with the track. Every time I talk to you, not worried as far as the reconstruction of the schedule.
Oh no, we're not concerned about it. You know, when they started talking about realignment 2004, and they were talking about the things that the tracks had to do to stay competitive and to maintain their place. You know, it was things like selling out, amenities, the purse. It was almost like, in fact, someone with NASCAR said Martinsville was a good model of what it took for a track to keep a race. So we feel very comfortable. I don't think the the management at the Speedway would be planning to spend the money they're spending right now for all the expansion that's going on if they ever thought that they were going to not have two races a year.
No.
I think it's important that we keep these races here, not just for the community, but for NASCAR's sake. You know, we got too many mile-and-a-half cookie cutter tri-ovals.
Follow the leader.
And I think the diversity and letting the drivers show their short track roots. You know, there's no track better, really, other than maybe Bristol, where the drivers get to demonstrate them skills. And I think it'd be a shame to not have that diversity. And it's unfortunately, as we lose like North Wilkesboro and others, talking about even Rockingham, tracks like that are exciting, great racetracks. Look at Darlington.
Look at Darlington.
Probably the best race you're going to see. You know.
Well, one thing I can say that helps us and makes us feel good about where we are is that the community here really supports the racetrack. We we go to a lot of other racetracks and we observe and we've noticed in some areas you just don't see the welcome race fan banners, things on the marquees, just in general the race fans in our community opening up and embracing the racetrack the way they do, and we think that's real important. And you're talking about the mile-and-a-half tracks. Every time someone builds a mile-and-a-half track, we think it helps the short tracks because it just makes us look that much better.
No doubt.
Yeah, we don't have to hear about aero push and all that other junk. Let's just let the drivers drive.
Yeah, and it is truly a driver's racetrack.
Right. We got a question for Mike.
Yeah, there's a couple questions online.
Okay, we're gonna take some calls for Mike on questions. You on Just Racing?
Yes, I got a question for both Mikes, if you don't mind.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. First, Mike Schmitt, how you doing?
Good. Don't ask me about the dirt now.
Oh, come on now. Mike, up there at Oak Level, any chance you might add the little dirt modified so I can run it 311?
We looked at it seriously to bring them in for some shows this year and weren't able to resolve the schedule. So we're going to keep an eye on what's going on down there. For those of you who know about Oak Level, right now we've got 6 divisions that are all doing pretty healthy. So it'd be difficult to add them in without having to move one out. But it's a class I'm interested in, and we're keeping an eye on it. I think in the future you'll definitely see them there, just a matter of when.
All right. Now, Mike Schmitt, Mike Schmitt, what's the latest on Jimmy Hensley finding a ride?
I guess it's been a month since I've talked to Jimmy, but he still had a few things kicking around. But unfortunately, in the touring series now, it all comes down to money and being able to not work your way into a ride, but buy your way into a ride. It's just become very, very difficult.
Well, I know Jimmy can still drive a race cars, no doubt about it. I just wish he could find the right team because he deserves a good ride. I agree. Turn on when the truck's on. I just expect to see him at the track.
I agree, and there are a lot of young guys out there that I'm sure Jimmy could step into their truck and run it the way it should be run.
I know that's what gets me. All these young. I'm not taking nothing away from him, but this just seems like he would do better in that ride.
I can't help but to agree with you on that.
All right, well, y'all take it easy.
All right, thank you for calling.
And it's, talking about the cost to get into to buy a ride even for one race on a top level truck, like Kevin Harvick's truck, $100,000 to buy that ride for
one weekend, and they sort of start at 50 for a mediocre ride and go on up, and that's for one race.
And it's tough to put together a marketing program for one race.
No doubt.
Because you really need to, you don't get your money out of it from a sponsor standpoint. You need continuity and you need a lot of repeats and whatever. So, and there's people standing in line to rent that truck.
Yeah. Oh, no doubt. Well, we already touched base pretty much on some of the things with these new tracks they're building up. And why don't they build? You hope they don't build a short track, but I don't understand why somebody won't build a short track and slam it. I already see how many seats you can get in there. It just don't make any sense. So.
I think it's a matter of ego. People want to be able to build big things, big showcases, and that's great with us.
Right, that's cool. Now we're not worried about the common template this weekend, right?
Nope. I tell you what, if they tried to put a template over anything when they rolled out of there about 5 o'clock Sunday afternoon, they wouldn't be able to fit one on anything.
They better put it down there and run over it a couple times. Okay, we got the DW. Man, what's he worth to y'all's truck race?
Probably where he's worth the most is where he is on Fox talking about it all the
The
time.
self-promotion.
Yeah. It's
He's good at that.
Last year was great. It was his first time out, and that was a really, really big deal. But he qualified 17th, lost an engine, wound up like 34th in that race, and he ran again last summer, and he's going to run twice this year. So the novelty sort of worn off.
Right.
Now, if he would come in there this week and blow the doors off everybody when he came back in the fall, that would be a different story. And we like the fact that DW is going to be in a car, and Kevin Harvick's going to be in a truck, and Andy Petrie's going to be in a truck. But it's sort of like the bushwhackers over on the bush side.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to not make the race because those guys are there.
Yeah.
I tell you, I think like a track like Martinsville, the advantage of being a Winston Cup driver, I don't think it's as big as it is on a big track. I think the short track drivers can drive, and the truck series has got a lot of great short track racers.
Well, you get in the situation where you have a guy like a kid like Carl Edwards. Carl's only 22, driven mostly open wheel stuff on dirt. He's in a Roush truck. He had not seen Martinsville until last Wednesday when he came over. Greg Biffle was testing the Cup car, and he came over and stood on the hauler and watched all day. He doesn't have the points. If for some reason we don't qualify Friday, or if he doesn't make the cut, he's going on home. And he's frightened to death. I talked to him for a long time the other day. But we've got the biggest. In fact, we have a bigger truck field than they had at Daytona. I saw the intro this afternoon. I think 46 trucks.
But why do you think that even the trucks, really caught on down here? And matter of fact, we now have a second race this year for the trucks. What makes Martinsville so special for the trucks?
We're not sure. We just know we've always done very, very well with them. The Bush Series we did so with, but ever since the Truck Series began, I think in '95, we've drawn well with them. The fans love them. Part of the reason too is we always get some local guys out, and of course we don't have Rodney Sawyer running this year, but there are going to be 2 or 3 guys in that normally run late model stock cars that are going to be here. Of course, you got John Wood that's going to be here. So there are a lot of natural draws there for it. And when we found out there was a chance we could get a second truck date this year, we really jumped on it.
The only downside to that is you've got to keep modifieds out, right?
Well, but the modifieds have truly become a northern division, a New England division. It's really, really difficult to promote those guys down here because they're basically unknowns down here. I said it would be sort of like taking Barry Beggerly to Connecticut and try to promote him up there. Right. It's just really difficult for us to bring him down here and promote and draw well.
And it used to be great when we were almost 50-50, and of course the southern people down here were against you northern people up there.
Yeah, for a long time it truly was it was like the blue and the gray.
Oh, big time.
Yeah, but it pretty quickly shifted, and the other thing is the cars have become so exotic. It's people don't have a clue. It's almost like real like cars or something when you look at these cars. You just don't know what they are.
But still have to say that the blue most of the time got us, because when Richie Evans was down here, it was almost untouchable. Hey. I remember being a kid watching it.
Probably the biggest upset we've ever had there was the day Johnny Bryant won.
Well, that's true.
He was in a southern car, didn't have radios, and put a whooping on the northern boys.
Well, I hope, one thing that's good for the modified, I'm a modified fan, I talked to you about that before, but Elkin now has been paved, and they're going to run a modified show on Friday nights, and so might get a few more cars built. Maybe, the Smart Series is doing real well. And we talked a little bit before the show today about Puddin' Swisher, and he's recovering apparently from the really bad injuries they had down at Caraway. But I think the modifieds are going to make a comeback. They're not any more expensive to run than a late model stock, and they're a heck of a lot more exciting for me at least to watch.
We're going to have an interesting situation this weekend. L.W. Miller, who won the last modified race here last fall, is a rookie in the Truck Series. So he'll be running here, and he's going to hop in a car and run down to Caraway and run in the Smart race Saturday night.
So I'll tell you what, this is going to be a tough field to make, and that which leads me to my next question. We're both of you fighting the weather situation coming up for Friday, and is DW, he's not a shoe-in. He can't make, I mean, he's got to qualify his way into this race.
Yeah, DW's got to qualify in. Andy Petrie's got to qualify his way in. And like I said, there's some of the top rookies that we're still using last year's points. So you got people like Tina Gordon, who's actually leading the points race. She doesn't have any points from last year.
What about Hamilton?
I think Bobby probably ran enough.
Do you think
Is it car owner or driver point?
Driver point.
It's driver point.
Okay. So that would concern me with Hamilton most definitely.
Yeah, because Edwards is in a Roush truck, and they would have had points from last year. But we're not to worry about that.
No,
It'll be okay.
no, it's not going to rain.
Y'all gonna have one of those nice, tight, shiny tracks come Friday night.
Well, I tell you this, I don't think there'll be a problem with dust. If we can squeeze the moisture out of it. And right now, the weather forecast shows the rain stopping by Friday night.
By Friday night, yeah.
Whether it's Thursday afternoon or Friday morning, but hopefully for all of us will be good. Like you said, with the situation of the trucks, it would really be a shame if we don't qualify.
No doubt.
The Winter Cup cars pretty much are down to about 43, 44
Well,
cars.
we got, I think our entry list is 45.
Oh, really?
And you'll have a couple guys like Hermie Sadler, who...
So we got Pookie Mommy coming back here?
He will, he's going to be in an ARCA race again before long. But guys, I got to compliment you guys. At a time when a lot of tracks, a lot of weekly racing tracks are struggling, you guys are going great guns, have plenty of sponsors, plenty of cars, plenty of fans. I think y'all need to pat yourselves on the back every now and then.
Well, we've got a long way to go, but we appreciate the kind words you've given to us, and we really enjoy the little association we got with y'all and the chance to bring a few fans up on Friday night when they're in town. I think there's a lot of folks looking for stuff to do when they come in, and hopefully our track's one of their prime destinations.
I've told Mike the story before as the Winston Cup beat writer for the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. Make sure he comes to Martinsville every year because he wants to come up to your place. He has an Oak Level hat he wears around to a lot of the races I see him at, and he's actually working an extra weekend this weekend so he can come up here and do both races. That's pretty cool.
And we had, last year, we was down there, Jerry Nadeau, he was just all into the late models and all that stuff, so we had a couple of the drivers come down there also.
And we have several Winston Cup team members that participate up there. Terry Hall, who was a guest a couple weeks ago, works for the Wood Brothers and is actually married into the family. And then Boyd McMillan works for Richard Childress Racing. And we've got several drivers from Arrington Motors, and so we've got a little connection there. And so a lot of times it's an opportunity for the guys to come out and watch the guys in the shop race.
Well, I think y'all are just a neat situation because there are a lot of new dirt tracks like the one in Charlotte, but they're the sort of squeaky clean places, and everything's politically correct, and you guys are like racing supposed to be.
Well, I guess the analogy we talked about when we were talking about the Martinsville layout versus the mile and a half tracks is kind of the same with us as compared, say, to the big half. It's a wide track, but it's a unique configuration, and you got to drive it, and there's a lot of grooves you can choose from. And I think that we pride ourselves on that. Short track racing is what we love, and we want to promote it. And so far, we think we've got a good product.
Well, we think what's happening with short track racing, or at least where we are, that for the last 10 years has been such a growth in fans. But those fans started going to the mile and a half and seeing the same thing, and they were uneducated fans then. Now they're educated fans, and they understand the difference between entertainment and a race. Right. And they're coming back to the short track for the real racing.
Yeah, I believe that. And this, I tell you what, the second groove you guys put in last year just sets y'all's tracks just completely different. I mean, we had one guy whining. He always whines. So
yeah, they a lot of them whined beforehand, but there was a lot of crow being eaten by the time the day was over.
It was just great. I mean, I've never ever in all the years I've been going over there. My dad, we didn't ever go to baseball games or football games or nothing. But we went to the race every year, twice a year.
So I'm curious, when you ground the track down, did it do what you thought it was going to do, or would that just happen? I mean, it seems like it surprised a lot of people as far as the fact that groove opened up.
It didn't surprise us.
So y'all hit it right on the number there.
Well, the people that Clay contacted to do it The guy, he pretty much told Clay exactly what it would do, and that's what it did. And in essence, what it did, it slowed down the inside groove a little bit. Even though it didn't speed up the outside groove, they caught up with each other.
So the guys complaining, the guys that had the inside groove nailed,
Exactly.
had their setup nailed,
Exactly.
were back in the drawing board again.
Now, I talked to Ricky Craven for a long time one day this week, and then he said he got beat last fall because he wouldn't go up in that outside groove. And he said, he says, I'm stubborn. He said, I've run it all day, and I know it's there. He says, I know I won't go up there next Sunday.
Right.
We were talking about that with the pavement drivers who's going to dirt, and how hard it is to get used to switching
off
grooves.
that line.
It's the same kind of thing there. That the groove changed, and he couldn't get out of his head to switch his marks and switch where he was going. But
that's some of the best
Ricky
stuff.
Craven, I'll talk about him a little bit. He's a Maine boy, and he's running for a one-car team, and really having a heck of a season.
And a nice guy. I mean, truly, truly a
I
nice
can believe
guy.
that. And I think they hit it on the head yesterday when you can tell that he's a winner now because he got out of the car after finishing fourth, was mad. And that's when you know you can win. And he's mad because he don't have a teammate or something like that. I'm not sure,
But he's a real yes sir, no sir type person, and will go out of his way to speak to people. Takes a lot of time with fans. We've just and of course made such an incredible comeback. I mean, he stepped out of the car because of an injury when other people weren't doing it. I mean, it was a gutsy thing for him to do. We've just become real Ricky Craven fans at Martinsville. Of course, he got his first win at that place.
He's really stepped it up this year on all sides tracks. I mean, I'm amazed with his progress. And Cal Wells' team is still really a new team.
That's what I was amazed about. Was not only did he do that, he went from Fords to Pontiacs and got their own engine program. And I mean, that's almost unheard of now to get your own engine program and run with these multi-car teams. It's just unbelievable. I tell you what, since we were talking about the trucks, I don't want to get too far off of that deal. We're going to, Mike bought a nice looking hat here, Advanced Auto Parts. They are the sponsor of the truck event there, and we're going to ask a truck question here. Who won the first truck race at Martinsville? If you know that, you can win this Advanced Auto Parts hat. And
I want to give the number again.
The number is 647-9289. There we go. And Roger's on top of it. Roger asked if we want a telephone number put up there, but who won the very first truck race at Martinsville? And now we're going to have two of them up there this year. And so did NASCAR come to you guys and offer you the second day?
Yes, it was something that they called Clay and wanted to know if we'd be interested, and we jumped at it.
That took about 2 seconds of thinking. Okay. All right. Just Racing.
Yeah, actually, I got a question for Mike. In say the All-American class, can we run a car truck, like a Ranchero or something like that?
As long as it's a car-based vehicle, like El Camino or something like that, it's basically a car with just a little pickup bed on it. That's fine.
Still
okay, then we would have to put a roll cage coming from the back as well.
That's probably a question better asked off the air. If you want to give me a call, call the hotline and leave a message. I'll get back to you.
Okay. All right. I appreciate it.
All right. Thank you, bud. Just Racing.
Was it Ernie Irwin?
Nope, not Ernie.
Thank you.
Thank you. Just Racing. I'm not giving you 25 cents. But you want 25 cents. Who won the very first truck race at Martinsville? And that field was full, and everybody was excited about it, and it kept on going.
Kept on going. Last year, the truck race was we had the largest Saturday crowd we've ever had, and we're hoping we top that again this week.
And see, I would have thought that the Bush Series would have done that, and I agree with you. I went over, I think one of the last ones, Jeff Burton won the Bush race, and I mean, it wasn't nobody there. Not like I would think, especially when you start adding more seats, it looks like a whole lot less people, especially too. Just Racing.
Yes, I was calling in who won the first race in Martinsville. Was that Richard Petty?
No.
No, and we're looking for the first truck race winner.
Oh, first truck. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. Thank you. But I remember to tell how old I was. We were sitting down. We always sat in the same seats, which was concrete. And back then, the best seats, if you had those kitchen table chairs up at the top, you was high dollar right there. And they were hard to get, too. I mean, people would get their tickets and keep them. Just racing.
Was it Ron Holiday?
No. Thank you. Just racing.
Yeah, would it be Ron Hornaday?
Nope. Wasn't Ron. Thank you. Just racing?
Yes, was it Bobby Hamilton?
Nope, not the first one. Thank you, brother.
They're beating all around it.
Just racing. They all on top of it.
Was it Jack Sprague?
Nope.
Hey, E.C., when are you going to start racing the golf carts?
We might have a golf cart race up there this year. Might put Mike and Mike on them.
After I saw Jeff Gordon's head get run over.
Yeah, that one. I tell you, that was tough, man. But we'll probably do something with the golf cart this year.
We'll see.
Appreciate it, Todd. All right.
We're going to take a
Well,
break here.
I tell you what, this I thought I had these easy questions here, and I knew Mike had them stumped there a little bit, but this should be pretty easy. Just racing.
Hello?
Hello. Yes.
Yeah, is it Jimmy Hensley?
Nope. He did win one, but not the first one.
You know, these folks wanted to go to www.martinsvillespeedway.com. They can probably find this thing out.
And get y'all a hit. I'll guarantee you they can find it out.
Mike Skinner,
No, wasn't Skinner.
was it you? We didn't name everybody else. It must have been you.
Y'all, I hadn't won that one, man.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
That was my guess when I got slammed out.
Now I did. I tell you what, went up and got in that little Allison car last year, and that's my first trip around there. And that was just, I was hooked real quick. Have you been around?
Yeah, you get the top end, don't you?
Yeah. Have you been around in one of the cars yet?
Yeah.
What about my buddy Clay? What's he doing this year?
Just laying back.
Well,
What do you think, Bud? You want to take a quick break?
I think
here?
we're going to have to take a break, and
He's broke the phone.
I done broke the
Phone's
phone,
broken.
so we might as well.
We'll keep taking your calls off.
Yeah, we'll take your calls. Just racing.
Is it Jimmy Stetzel?
Nope, wasn't Spencer. Y'all get those internets fired up. We're going to take a small break, and we'll be right back. Don't go away. We got 3 questions coming up for Mike also.
Outdoors. It's that time of year again, and you need to visit Southeastern Outdoors.
What's up, dude? Hey, y'all ready to play? We went down there. Oh, okay. Jim Mullen.
Embarked by Southeastern Outdoors. It's that time of year again, and you need to visit Southeastern Outdoors.
Look back at one, and nobody got the question right. I don't know what's going on, man. I didn't think they were hard. Mike even told him where to get the answer. www.martinsvillespeedway.com. That's a good-looking site, too. How many visits y'all getting a day?
We've got in the last month about 47,000 hits.
So they're looking.
Yeah.
They're looking without a doubt. Just racing.
Joe Rubman?
Joe Rutman is correct. Did you go to the site?
Yes, sir. But I was sitting here thinking in my head. I couldn't remember. I remember Skinner and Hornaday Rick trying to get Bodine back, and here come Rutman flying up through there and won the race.
Hey, you got a good memory. Who we got on the phone?
This is Joe Cole.
Joe Cole.
Mike Smith, their favorite buddy.
Oh, is it?
Or maybe unfavorite buddy. I don't know.
Hey, Joe, you're doing pretty good on Friday night. It looks like you're smoking a little bit. You have the thing fixed?
Oh, yeah. It was just a minor problem. I had a couple of Fords hung up in the carburetor, but after I slung him out, it was all right.
Well, here, take the Advanced Auto Parts hat, and you can go up there and get you some stuff, man. I appreciate it, Joe.
All right. Y'all have a good one.
You too, man.
I'll pick your head up there tomorrow at the station, right?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
All right. All right, we finally got a winner. Right after this race, y'all gonna get busy, right?
Get busy. Yep, we'll start turning dirt Monday.
Yeah. I mean, you just got it sitting there ready to go. That's amazing.
We'll get a new road is the real focus, and the seats. Actually, we've gotten some of the groundwork done for new seats. We've got the concrete boards and piers, and it won't take, but because some of the infrastructure is already there, it won't take us less than a month to get the 2,000 seats up, and the new road will take a little longer, but we'll probably be done for a 4th of July event. It'll be a 6-lane asphalt road coming in, 4 lanes for vehicular, 2 lanes for pedestrian. It's really going to get people in and out of there like this. We're really excited about it.
What about the train track?
That's probably the next thing after that. It's on the stove. It isn't on the front burner yet, but it's somewhere between the back burner and the front burner.
So the train's still rolling?
Yeah.
Y'all said you were about 97% sold out for this week?
We're way on up there. We've got some tickets left for Sunday, but if people want to buy them, they better go to www.martinsvillespeedway.com pretty quick or give us a call in the morning early.
Going fast there. You on just racing?
Yes, I had a question for Mike. What was the reason for taking the mirrors out of the cars?
That's you. That's not me.
Mike, what'd you take the mirrors out for, man?
Well, the number one sanctioning body in dirt track in the United States, which is IMCA, doesn't let cars run mirrors. Natural Bridge is taking the mirrors out of the cars. UDCRA doesn't let cars run mirrors. But the primary reason is to stop blocking and to get guys in lower divisions to learn to race looking ahead as opposed to mirror driving. That's the primary reason. And there weren't many incidents because of it, but it hopefully results in better racing. Like I said, it's pretty much what most of the dirt tracks around the United States are going to for the lower division.
Okay, the reason I asked is last year one of my friends wanted to drive the All-American 21. He was getting pushed in turns 1 and 2, and he said if he had a mirror, he probably could avoid that accident.
Oh, it's like seat belts. I mean, you're going to find examples of where a seat belt hurt somebody instead of saving their life. There's enough research done, like I said, enough tracks to do it, that more times than not it results in less incidents and a little bit better racing. But yeah, there is going to be times where it may be a disadvantage.
Okay, and was you going to go up on your purse for the drivers of that class?
First for this year are pretty much the same as they were last year.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So you got all that stuff. I was amazed to see when I went in there looking that it's been 11 different drivers in a row that has won here. We haven't had a repeat driver.
It goes back, I think, to the middle of 1997 since we've had a repeat driver. And it wouldn't surprise me one bit if we had another first-time, or not a first-time winner, but one to keep that streak alive. Because last fall, if Kurt Bleach hadn't have won, Johnny Benson was going to win, and that would have still kept the streak alive. And of course, it would have been another. At that point, Johnny Benson hadn't won a Cup race. Right. It would have been another first-time Cup winner. So Johnny's run really well there. Some of the young kids are running well there. So it wouldn't be one bit surprising to me to see a Jimmy Johnson or someone like that to win this week.
And I think one of the things too, the technology used to be a big brake problem, and you had to have the veteran in you to make a car last. And now it seems like these guys, they run them wide open all the time. And I guess this brake technology's done wipe that out.
Well, it's still important. You can still wear them out. I know we had testing last week over there. We had 3 different brake manufacturers, representatives there working with teams all day long, and that's the norm, just throwing different things at them. In fact, one company had a whole crate of stuff overnighted to him Tuesday night so he'd have their Wednesday to work with the guys. But you still got to be patient. You can't sit on those things all day long and expect to have anything in.
Right. I think we got a couple questions here. Just racing.
I ain't got no questions. Just want to know how come you get all the ugly people on the show.
Well, we haven't got you on yet.
So you don't know who this is yet?
No, not yet, but I see.
Good question.
Yeah, good question.
I just want to know if the price was the same at the gates and all this here.
For which track are you talking about?
Yours?
The same prices as last year.
Okay. Well, no, that wasn't my 37 car, is it?
Oh, it was low boy.
Oh, yes, it was. Speaking of ugly people, I know why you call in.
Why that?
You got the perfect face for calling in, man.
Exactly right.
You're daggone right. Thank you, low boy. Just racing.
Yes, are y'all going to show the late model practice again?
Not today. We're just about out of time here, and
Okay.
but we
Maybe on our show on Thursday.
on Thursday, which thank goodness you mentioned that, Mike. Man, this thing is, I can't believe we done flew by here. We do have a special edition of Just Racing coming up Thursday at 6 o'clock.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
And we'll have Brendan Gaughan will be our guest, truck driver, and I guess we'll make a little more with highlights on Thursday
Yeah.
for those who missed them today. And this show will be rerun probably a few times between now and then.
Yeah, and I want to thank Mike definitely for taking care of us on that deal, because me and Mike don't know Brendan.
That's one of the great things about the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. These guys are hungry. They're not only hungry to race, they're hungry for media attention. And they're just really, really fun to work with, and will take time, and not only with media, with fans, and don't mind signing autographs. So we really enjoy having them around.
That is great. We got a little deal we do here called 3 questions for my guests. Okay? And being that you in public relations stuff, I just made yours pretty simple, and it's media related.
All right.
Okay? First question, MRN or PRN?
MRN.
Second question, NBC or Fox?
Fox.
I knew you was going to say that. This right here will be the cut. You have to think about this one. Martinsville Speedway, Martinsville Bulletin.
Martinsville Speedway. The hot dogs are better.
They got better hot dogs. I had to get that on you, Mike. You're a good sport, buddy. And that was all personal. One more recap of what we got going on this weekend.
Friday, MW Windows Pole Day, qualifying for both divisions, $15. Saturday, Advanced Auto Parts, $250, Craftsman Truck Series race. Also get to see 2 40-minute sessions of cup practice, $30. And of course, Virginia 500 takes the green flag at 1 p.m. on Sunday. We do still have some tickets left, but you better call quick.
That's great. And go to qualifying on Friday. Come out to Oak Level Friday night. What's your schedule like?
We start up at 7:30, gates open at 4:30, and we have a special show this Thursday, 6 p.m. on the same station with our special guest, Brendan Gaughan.
Well, be sure and tell everybody.
It's fun.
And we
You'll have it back. I'll do it again.
Oh yeah, we love it, man. We'll catch you in the off season. We're not doing it. Okay, not in the off season, but thanks so much for Mike Schmitt and also Mike Smith from Martinsville Speedway. Don't forget Thursday night, 6 o'clock.